Greetings, duelists, and welcome to another video. This is a deck report, tournament report of week 2 of season 6, and this is another version of Dracotail. This is not the typical version that you're used to seeing. This is more of a follow-up to a hybrid build that I had before Doom of Dimensions. So now that we're on Doom of Dimensions format, we need to think about like more strategies that are inclined to that set. And if you guys saw the last video involving Dracotail K9, which was the hand trap version, the standard version a lot of people are playing, I'm not a really big fan of that list. I'm not a big fan of that version of the deck. It just doesn't fit my playstyle. So I went with something very different. This was played in a team tourney this weekend, and I have mixed feelings about it. Like, the first couple of duels that I had with the deck was not doing great, but then the latter half of the duels that I've been having with it were doing, it was doing amazing. Enough to a point where I could even beat, like, I beat 3 mirror matches in a row with it. So I can say for sure this is a list I can get behind. I'm just not sure of the numbers yet. But maybe you guys in the video who are watching this could figure it out, because again, this is gonna be one of those decks that's just not gonna be fully solved, but you can just cater it to a playstyle that you are like comfortable with. But yeah, without further ado, let's get straight to the list. There is a very lengthy one. So 3 Lucias, 3 Phimenas, and we are playing Phryxul in this list. We will talk about Phryxul in a little bit. There is a lot to talk about when it comes to this card. For the dragons, we got 3 Malulu, 2 Urgulas, 1 Pan. There is a reason for 2 Urgulas, we will explain it later as well. So that's 13 Dracotail monsters. Now, I'm playing 3 Blazing Cartesias, but not only that, we're also playing 3 King of the Swamp. If you're familiar with this lineup, I did build a Dracotail build that you played 06. So yeah, I'll explain that as well. We got the 8 Shadows, so 3 Squamata, 1 Dragon, 1 Hedgehog, 1 Beast, 1 Wendy, and 1 Ariel. I'll explain that too. We got the 3 Tier Elements. We got Rescue Ace Impulse. We got Fire Attacker. We got 3 Fualas. We got 2 Nibirus and Magnamut, and these are like our hand traps of the deck. So if you count the monsters, it's a long. It's a lot. It is 40 monsters. Now let's go through the spell cards. 3 Ketu, 3 Rahu, 3 Super Polys, 2 Thrusts, Talents, Perlerino, Fusion Deployment, Polymerization, Shadow Fusion, and the last spell card is that Grass Looks Greener. And then for the traps, we got Schism, Flame, and Dracotail Horn. And that puts us at 60 cards, 17 spells, and the 3 traps. Let's go with the extra deck. 1 Cross Cheap, 1 SP, 1 Gulamel, 2 Arthalions, Grista, Apkalone, Winda, Construct, Grabinol, Rokalos, Mud, Garura, Dracotail, and Secretariat Dragon. One honorable mention that I'm going to bring up is Luna Light Perfume Dancer. This was the construct, which I will explain. Like, I think the explanation is self-explanatory, but if for those who are unaware, I will explain it. So I'll separate that here. Alright. Side deck. 3 Phantasme, 3 Droll, 3 Ghost Bells, 2 Shadow Fusions, Cross Out, Duster, D-Barrier, and Dracotail Sting. Alright, so what is this deck? So this is a Fusion Pile, or Fusion Pile Dracotail if you want to call it. The win condition of the deck is tied to Grabinol. Grabinol is like the best card in the extra deck. It's like it's at a point where I kind of want to play multiples of it. This card kind of tutors your a lot of your engines. This tutors your Chadol cards. This tutors like your tier element monsters. Yeah, this bridges a lot of things. This is the reason we're maxing out on Blazing Cartesia and King of the Swamp. These are the swamp targets. We're also playing like the 4 Shadows. Like, this is standard from the last list that you saw. And I think the newest addition here is the Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep is really good for the mid to late game with your Dracotail cards. There are also really cool new lines that involves Dracotail Phryxul as well as Cross Sheep. Alright, so that's it for explaining the extra deck. So during the weekend I did play Perfume Dancer instead of Construct, and I'd say this is like reliant on whether or not there are Lunalite players at your locals. I kind of wanted a Liger out in this deck because there are not many Liger outs in this deck at all. For those wondering how do you send this to a graveyard, you do send it with Grabinol. Grabinol can toolbox into this, and this makes it so both Liger Dancers drop to 300 attack. So you basically have an engine out to Liger Dancer within the deck. Be wary about them like nuking your board with before you attack them. But like, for example, if you summon Winda cannot be destroyed by card effects. So, or if you summon Rokalos can just come back like after it was destroyed. So yeah, there are enough ways for you to deal with the Ligers. Alright, so that's it for that explanation. Let's go with the main deck. So, because of Doom of Dimensions, we do have new additions to the deck, and one of the newest additions is Dracotail Phryxul. So, for those who don't know, Phryxul is a Dracotail extender. She triggers upon like normal summon or special summon. Just involve like bringing back a Dracotail card. and then bouncing it back to the hand. So this is essentially like Debris Dragon for Dracotails. At first glance, this card was very, very overlooked. Like, I even brought it up on my first impressions video in talking about this card. The reason this card was very important is because this enabled Dracotail bridges with Branded, with Shadow, with Gragwing Null. Like, her just being a light spellcaster, it just helps with all those bridges. But as soon as I started playing the deck, I started to figure out that there's actually cool lines that involved Phryxul. Like, one perfect example I can give you is if you start with Rahu Dracotail, Rahu Dracotail can send any of the other Dracotail monsters. It can send any of these Dracotails to the graveyard. And then what you can end up doing is you set K2, and then with K2 you can add Phryxul, and then Phryxul summons to reborn any of these Dracotails. And all of a sudden you have like more explosive plays involving, like, if you started with Rahu. Before the existence of Phryxul, Rahu was very awkward as your first starting combo card, because this essentially meant that you were kinda like exhausting a lot of your Dracotail resources and not getting very effective results with it. Now, if you do something like, for example, Rahu to send Lucius to set Ketu, you can flip K2, grab Phryxul, Phryxul reborn Lucius, Phryxul goes to back to hand, Lucius adds the 5 mana, and all of a sudden you have like more plays as opposed to the initial plays that you had when pre Doom of Dimensions with Rahu Dracotail. So yeah, I'd say in regular Dracotail, Phryxul is not that impressive. But if you're playing like a combo version of Dracotail, like I am, then Phryxul is definitely very helpful. Phryxul also secures you the grind game with this deck, which is another thing that Dracotail didn't have very efficiently prior to the support. And another note is you can grab this back to your hand with Urgula, and this can also reborn the Dracotail fusions. So yeah, the more I started playing with Phryxul, the better this card was in my eyes. Like as far as the Dracotail suite goes, I definitely underestimated the power of this card, and I think Dracotail players will figure it out as they are playing the deck a little bit more and more. So you notice that I'm not playing Sting in the main deck. I just feel like 3 traps is way too much. If you saw like my last video, I already explained it. But the TLDR is this deck already bricks a fair amount. You don't want it to brick with more engine requirements. But post side, when you know what deck you're facing against, you can side in the Sting, and if you're going first, then the Sting is gonna be very effective against certain matchups. I played against 3 mirror matches in one tournament, and I can tell you this right now, Dracotail Sting was very, very helpful in those mirror matches. So yeah, that's it for the Dracotail explanations. I guess the one other explanation I have to give is why am I playing multiple Urgulas? This is tied to That Grass Looks Greener. if you activate grass and you mill a plethora of Dracotails, but you don't mill a plethora of Shadows or tier limit monsters, then you need a way to tutor into your Dracotail engine very efficiently after you grass. Imagine if you do grass and you mill Urgula, Phryxul, and Lucius. Just to give you an example. Then you can just Urgula, back to Phryxul, and then normal the Phryxul for Lucius, and then just add the 5 mana as I stated earlier. And this essentially is like a full to Dracotail combo. So that's the explanation behind the second Urgula. I don't regret playing the second Urgula. This did come up a lot. Reminder that this is also a fusion material for Grista, which is not a really bad card this format as well. So yeah, keep that in mind. A lot of people are a fan of Pan, but I'm more of a fan of Urgula, at least on a build like this one. Alright, so that's it for the Dracotail explanations. So, why did I opted for 60 cards? The reason I tried, I wanted to play 60 is, the first thing I wanted to try is see if I could get mileage out of grass. I did not draw grass at all this weekend, and the one time I opened Triple Tactic Thrust, instead of thrusting for grass, I thrusted for Shadow Fusion, which was already helpful enough because this essentially just broke my opponent's boards. So, yeah, would I play the grass build any longer? I'm not sure. I can say for sure, grass did not contribute at all this weekend. I also never drew or played Fusion Deployment, so I'm not sure about this card either. These essentially can become other two cards if you see fit. This overperformed this weekend. I really do highly recommend this card if you're not playing this card this format, especially if you're playing Dracotail. I played against 3 Mirrors, 1 Yummy, and 1 Orchist, and 1 Mitsurugi, and this was helpful against all of those matchups. Yeah, like, don't sleep on Super Poly. I think this card, this was one of the MVPs of the weekend for sure. Another MVP of the deck, and I drew this card a lot. I would've wished this was grass, but this wasn't grass. It was Magnamut. I drew Magnamut a huge amount of times in this deck, and Magnamut in this version of the deck is actually kind of cool because these Squamaras are essentially just dead cards after you just used them. Like, if you're trying to Arthalion back your Shadows, you're probably not going to Shadow grab back Squamata. Squamata is just a really good enabler for your Shadow cards, like as a toolbox card. But another really good thing about Squamata is that it is fodder for Magnamut. So essentially, whenever you're doing plays that involve like summoning Magnamut and just adding with Magnamut, you can just use the Squamatas. And I did do that a lot. I summoned a lot of Grangwignolls, and those Grangwignolls just dumped the Apkalons and then dumped those Squamatas. And those Squamatas just became fodder for my Magnamuts. I still play 2 Nibs. I still play 3 Fuwas. I did not play Perulia. I think Perulia is just not that good this format. you can make the argument for Jomi overextending, or like other decks like Malice. Apparently, Vanquish Soul is still around. You can make the argument for Mitsurugi as well, but I think I'm fine with these. I also played the Rescue Suite. Fun fact, this got Ashed, Cold Bite, and like Dominus Impulse like a lot. Like a lot of people don't like me resolving this engine. So that kind of already shows you just how strong this engine is. If you haven't seen my last like my first video involving this card, it should be like on season 5 of Deck Reports. But essentially, this helps fix your hand. It also can like make new hands involving dumping your shadows or dumping your tier elements. So yeah, a really good card. Highly recommend it. Like, it doesn't specifically have to be in the main deck, but at least the main or side in Dracotail. It doesn't have to be the Shadow variant, but again, like, at least give this card a chance. This card was really good. If you know about my Shadow suite, I was not playing Ariel last time. I opted for Ariel mainly because Ariel just like sniping a full graveyard from Lunalight, or sniping a full graveyard from Sky Striker, or sniping a full graveyard from Orchest or Mitsurugi, it actually really helpful. Like, just having Grand Winnow dump Apkalon and Apkalon to dump this, it's really strong against a couple of decks. So I don't think I need to explain King of the Swamp or Blazing Cartesia. These are just more fusion enablers. I did drew this alongside the Poly a fair amount of times. Yeah, nothing to say about these. So yeah, these are. This is the main deck. Like, I opted for so many monsters because all these cards actually do fulfill a purpose. Alright, so I guess the last card I want to talk about is Schism. So I was debating whether or not to play this or this in the main deck. I'm so glad I chose Schism. There was a couple of times where I had the Gragwinol play, and I just went to Gragwinol to fuel my Graveyard of Shadows to just make this card live. This card, it just shuts down a lot of decks, especially if you're summoning Winda or Grista with it. Yeah, I think that's it for now. Like, I kind of was satisfied with like the deck building aspect of the list. There is some, I did get some clunky hands, like hands of almost full shadows, hands with just Dracotails, hands that are not like the right mixes of cards. But in the end, it was a really fun concept. Changes that I'm thinking about for the future. I might play a second Grand Winnow. Like, this card was incredibly good this past weekend. If I know there's Lunalight in my area, I'll play the Perfume Dancer. Lunalight is not really that common in our locals, so that's it for that. Cross should be staying in my extra deck. Like, this card was a lot helpful than I thought. It's not even because of the Dracotail like looping aspect. This card is also good in the aspect of bringing back like placing Cartesia, or bringing back a Shadow monster to fuse with it, or like bringing back yeah, bringing back certain stuff. I think that's it from me. Uh, yeah, I, I I won't say this is the best version of the deck. I won't say that this is like a version of the deck that you should be highly considering. This is a really fun experiment for me, and as as of right now, I can say like I'm 70% sold on it. All right, but that's been it from me. I hope you found this to your liking and understanding. More videos coming soon. Keep practicing and keep dueling.